Okay guys, put your first name, last name, and hour at the top of each of your papers. You should have 2. Make sure you label one new primary and one true primary. You're going to need red, yellow, and blue for your true primary color wheel. You're going to need half a cup of water, a palette, obviously, and a brush. Our helper for the day is going to be handing out the brushes. You're responsible for getting your cup of water and your palette. Palettes are right next to the cups by the sink. Okay, so we're going to start with our primary color, yellow. Yellow is always at the top of the color wheel. It is our brightest color. Make sure you're being very neat when you're filling these in. Guys, I'm going to go kind of fast. And make sure that you're washing your brush in between each paint. Every time you switch paint, make sure you wash out your brush. And then depending on where you put your next primary is going to depend where your secondary goes. So if you put blue here, green has to go here. But if you put blue here, green has to go here. You can't put blue here and green here. It has to follow the color wheel. So pick a side for your blue. Again, fill it in very carefully. Be super neat. Clean your brush, and let's apply our last primary color, which is red. Fill it in, be very careful. Okay, for this part, you're going to want to make sure your brush is very clean. I like to dry my brush on my aprons. Draw it on a paper towel if you need to, and then we're going to start making our secondary colors. So to figure out what colors we're going to use, we're going to touch our section and use the colors that it's in between to create that color. Okay, so to make green, we're going to use red or yellow and blue. So half of your yellow, because you're going to need your other half for your orange. Clean your brush out and mix it with your blue paint. And then go ahead and apply your green color. To make our orange color, we're going to mix the rest of our yellow with our red. Apply your orange very neatly. Don't rush this, guys. You have today and tomorrow to do this. And now for our final secondary is our red with our blue to make our violet. And this is why this is our true color wheel. It's our old original color wheel that everyone used to use, and it makes a really dark violet, and in the wrong lighting it almost looks brown. So you're definitely going to see a difference when you create your new color wheel, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Okay, for your new color wheel, you're going to need a whole new set of paint. Just use the remaining sections of your palette. You're going to need yellow, magenta, and phthalo blue. Okay, they are labeled new and they're in the center table, and our helper is going to go ahead and pass those out or pour some out. Make sure you're washing in between your brush uses, and if your palette is small or too dirty and you feel the need to clean it before you start this color wheel, go for it. Okay, so we're going to start with yellow. Yellow's, again, the top of our color wheel. It's our brightest color. Fill that in. Be more neat than I'm being. Again, same thing we did with our first color wheel. We're going to add all our primaries first. So we're going to add our blue, and then we're going to add our red. Not red, our magenta. It plays the part of our red in this color wheel. Now we're going to create our orange the same way we create our orange with our first color wheel, except using magenta and yellow this time. Create your green now using phthalo. A little bit of phthalo goes a long way. It's very powerful with your yellow. And you'll notice immediately the difference in the greens. This green is much brighter. And lastly, we're going to mix some magenta with a little bit of phthalo. And that's going to create our violet. And that's a much better violet than what we had with our first color wheel, our true one. Okay, guys, that is what you will be doing. Please take your time,